It's still spinning. Kate Mulefalcho, welcome to Irish Granny Helen, and welcome to Gerald of Tarot Stash. And
Hello.
Gerald, I think we're here. I think we're alive. Pinch
We
yourself.
are alive. We are
Yeah,
alive.
that's
And
very exciting. I'm
yeah.
I'm still doing remedial YouTube. I'm learning how to work these things, and Gerald is a very good teacher. So how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm ready for the weather to settle down a little bit. We have had last week we were at 70. Then we were in the teens. Now we're back up to about 50.
That's
And,
schizophrenic.
well, and here's the thing. I know this is going to happen because guess what? It's
Hmm.
March. It's
Is
what
that what you
happens.
guys always get?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And it's like,
Well,
relax.
I think it's been unpredictable for everybody,
Hmm.
But a couple of weeks ago, we actually had snow. However, we've had an unrelenting string of, well, it's months, but it was like maybe 8 weeks where it's not, I won't lie, I won't say it's constant rain, but it's like 10 hours of daylight are interfered with by rain. And there may be a 20-minute break, but
Oh,
I feel like I should have gills. It makes it very difficult if you're like me and you're not real stable on your feet under the best of circumstances. I'm always afraid to go out and slip because it's muddy and there's all the old leaves that are like slick. I can fall on a
yeah.
completely flat surface. It's really tragic. Oh,
That's
look at
that's
all these.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
I'm gonna
that's a
see.
huge gift, Helen, for you to
Pardon?
be able to fall on a flat surface.
It's a gift.
By the way, Helen is I'm simulcasting this, so Helen's going to have lots of chat to see.
This is going to drive me. I'm going to drive people crazy because I'm not going to be able to respond. I'm going to do this. I'm really appreciative of everybody that's joining us. And hello, and if I could see your name, I'd call it out. Maybe Gerald can see them. I don't know. I'm putting
I
him to
can
work.
because I can say that Grammy K99 is a new member to your channel.
Oh, well, welcome. Thank you for joining.
Angie
How did
Burke,
you know that? And I don't.
because if you scroll up, you can see that she is green on the screen. She is in the starred comment
Oh,
because
was
she
that what
wrote,
that meant? Okay,
yeah,
I didn't.
yes. Angie Burks is here. We keep scrolling down. Mere Dragon is here. Hello, Mere Dragon. Paula is here. Grand Candy Lind is here.
There
Bonzo
appears to be a mechanic because I see a wrench.
and the Wrench are the people who are moderators on the channels.
Oh, did you hire them?
Well, it is Tom Early Ritual who I would hire. Tom. Tom and I had a really, really good discussion about a deck. It's called the Terra Volatile.
Mm-hmm.
It's complicated because they give you options of different cards, and there's a whole extra suit. It's called Vessels. Really, really quite good. We're going to be doing another show about it. They also, because this is a it's made by humans, and so the price reflects that
As
it's
opposed to,
made by AI.
oh, it didn't
You
even
actually
occur
have
to me.
artists who are creating the work.
Didn't even occur to me that AI would be making tarot
Um,
cards.
yeah. Yes, and Bonzo, the coffee bar is protected by knights and armor. Who knew? Of course. Hello. I'm always gonna, put it up. Tapioca Thievery is here. Still
Oh,
waiting
that coffee
on
bar.
my paycheck. Oh, Tom is still waiting on his paycheck. Well, when we were done with that, Tom and I had a really good conversation about a topic that you feel very dearly about. We're not going to talk about it today. We're
All
not.
right. Okay. What is it though? Give me a hint.
AI.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you, I did a video yesterday. Okay. So I have these weird people talk about their guides, and I have a hard time with that. But I'll tell you what I have. I have fully formed inspirations hit my brain and I can't let go of them. And if I ignore them, they reintroduce themselves in multiple ways. So an idea will come into my head, a random thought of a topic, which I'm not looking for. It just shows up. And I'll think, okay, fine. And I'll go about my business. And 10 minutes later, I'll see it talked about on the newspaper. And 2 hours later, I'll go for a walk and I'll hear it on a podcast. And I'll come in and sit down to have a cup of coffee and it's on the news. And at that point, I go, okay, I can take a hint. So the other day, 2 days ago, I got an email from a very faithful subscriber who sends me a lot of stuff. And he said, tomorrow is Edgar Casey's birthday. And I said, oh man, I wish I'd known. I kind of have my week planned out. I've got things made and scheduled. I don't know how to reshuffle and I don't have time to research. What am I going to do? Well, then later on that day, I get a suggestion. You know how you get shorts that are suggested to you and videos that are suggested to you. And one of them was about Edgar Casey and his prophecies for this year.
Oh, okay.
So I went to the transcript. Often I don't watch the videos. It's too slow. I can get through the transcript a lot faster. So I went to the transcript and I got partway through it and I thought, oh, I have to talk about this. So I took some time. I stayed at the desk here and did some research and got the information, made a video about it. And I don't know. It was, now I've lost my train of thought, what my conclusion
Edgar
was.
Casey, the synchronicities.
Synchronicities, you have to pay attention to them, that not dismiss them, that they're very useful. And in this particular case, what he had to say for our time right now really kind of blew my mind. We're not talking about on April 1st of 2026, there will be an event. So, no, it's not that kind of thing. It's more of what philosophically is going on and what our expectations from ourselves and from others should be. And I found it very reassuring. It wasn't sugar coated. He didn't have only optimistic things to say, which I find insulting because I think things are in a dire situation, but he had useful things to say. I really appreciated that. He talked about this being a lesson, and as awful as it is, it's supposed to be, because we're supposed to notice the awfulness and we're supposed to adjust our reactions and our behavior and our emotions. He talked about 2,000-year cycle that started out around the time of theoretically the birth of Christ, the Gnostic moment in history, and how people have moved so far away from that, and institutions have gotten rigid, and organizations have become authoritarian, and countries have become greedy, and it has gone in the wrong direction because we've made the wrong choices as individuals and as a collective. But what he really said that was useful, I felt, was that people ask me all the time, what can I do? I don't know what to do. I feel helpless. And Edgar Casey addressed that. He said, you can do a lot. The individual makes a gigantic difference on the larger collective. It's all about every single choice you make all day long. It's about going within, finding your center, finding that spark inside of you, and then acting on compassion and love at every opportunity. And that will affect in ripples the collective. If enough people did that, we would have positive change. The potential exists still for positive change. But should that not happen, it will be inevitable that everything will come to a screeching halt, because we need to reset and start the cycle over.
Hmm.
So in order to rebuild, you have to take it to the ground. That's the difficult part.
It's the tower moment, and I'm
Yeah, but it's not inevitable. He said the future's not written in stone. The future is not predetermined. The future depends on all of our individual choices all the time, even the small ones,
yes.
like being snarky to somebody or whatever,
Hmm. Yeah,
I found that good. I found that encouraging.
encouraging. Well, I again, that's a great idea. I don't know about the people who are watching or watching the playback. Synchronicities. How many times do these things have to show up before you pay attention?
Oh yeah. Well, that kind of fits into our topic of the day, doesn't it?
It certainly can. Claire Higgins said, "Same here in Ireland. It has rained 64 days straight. If you stood long enough, moss would settle. Today was sunny all day. Amazing." Well, and Richie from Longman Tarot and we did a show, I think last Friday, and he had said that they haven't had rain, they haven't had sun since the beginning of January.
What sun?
I
And what
it,
is that strange light in the sky that comes
yes,
around
it,
occasionally?
yes, yes. It's what's there. Yeah. Well, and of course you live in,
Well,
yeah.
I live, yeah, yeah. Don't say where I live. It's just sad. Yeah. You learn to not pay attention to it. You learn to function without paying attention. When we decided where to move, we were on a kind of a car trip searching for a new home, and we were from Southern California. And when we got where we are today, we were sort of shocked because it was drizzling a little bit, and people were outside in their shorts and running around in flip flops. And we looked at each other. Here we are. We have raincoats and umbrellas, because we're from California, and rain is just this novelty. You learn to ignore it. You know, you
Yeah.
can't let it. You can't let it affect your mood. You learn to not pay attention to it.
We can definitely adapt.
Yeah, well, the downside to that, of course, is that when it's sunny, uh, you've learned to not react to the weather. So when it's sunny, you don't react either. It's like people will say, oh, "Isn't it a beautiful day?" And my attitude is, I'm afraid to look. I just, but that's just me. So, um,
what?
shall we talk about our
Well,
our
what are you knitting?
Okay, so see this nice thick bulky yarn. I
Yes.
have my whole family coming for Christmas, so I'm thinking ahead. I'm not going to let myself get stuck like I always do every year. I'm knitting a bag full of generic hats.
Hmm.
And so I got this bulky yarn in a variety of different colors, and I'll make at least one hat for everybody. This knits up fast because we have a big family. I think there are 15 of us, or
Yeah.
close enough, yeah. um so I just actually started because I can't pay close attention to my other project and talk. This, even if I foul this up, it's no harm done.
Yeah.
I'm finishing up that poncho. It's completely knit, and I just have to sew the sides, but I want to be sure I'm accurate, so I want to look at it and not look at you. And I hate to be torn.
Yeah.
And I have gloves that I've made, fingerless gloves with varying degrees of success.
Hmm. You've
And
made.
they need to be sewn together too.
Did you make two different versions of that, or did you pull one of them out that were really small? I don't remember.
I probably made about 6 pairs, fooling around with numbers of stitches and
Uh,
different fingerless glove patterns and kinds of yarn. uh
mhm.
One daughter, it's birthday present for her, and she's very particular. So I know if I don't make it out of something that she'll like, it probably wouldn't be given enough use. So I
Mhm.
made the mistake. I've got a whole room full of yarn and baskets of yarn. And I asked her on the phone, well, what color, if I
Oh,
made you something, what color would you like? And of course, she wanted the only color I didn't have.
yes.
So, of course, and I sent away for that color. And when it arrived, I was disappointed in its weight. In paper, on paper, it was the right weight, but in reality, it was, I don't know what was wrong with it. I went ahead and made fingerless gloves out of it, but they were too small. It was just too, you know, I'm
Hmm.
sure I ordered the wrong thing or something. So I
Yeah.
dug around and found some yarn that I already had that was kind of a neutral, and they turned out okay. But they're
Okay.
kind of an off-white. Who wants off-white gloves? You're just going to
Well,
get
I don't
dirty.
want white gloves if I'm wearing, gloves. Gloves will get dirty.
I agree. However, she might be okay. She's kind of, like I said, she's a little particular. She
Uh,
plays the harp, and the fingerless gloves might come into that, so,
which that goes to a question I see in the chat. Early Ritual asked, is that a lute harp behind Helen?
what kind of harp? A lute?
Lute.
Oh no, no. This is an Irish lap harp, and one of my daughters plays the orchestral, the concert harp, but she started out on even a smaller one than this. Um, Fell in love with it, got her this. She took lessons for a while, and then graduated. She kind of outgrew the teacher here, and we had to go out of town for a teacher. It was a whole scenario. Am I seeing Claire? Karen says hi. Is that?
Kieran
I don't have
says
my
hi. Yes,
glasses.
yes, you are
Hi,
correct.
Karen. I miss you guys. I want to show you something. These are friends of mine from Ireland. I want to.
Ah,
I want to show you something. She gave me this. Isn't this beautiful?
it
It
is.
is so soft. I want to marry it. It's just, it's just luscious. It's so wonderful. Thank you. I think about you guys all the time. Don't make me sad.
That's
I
beautiful.
I wonder, you're not coming over. Yeah, you're not coming over to the United States for a little fun. Yeah. Uh, so we were going to talk about, I guess I better do the background story. So I take this class, and the class meets once a week, and it's about improving your psychic ability. And today, for some weird reason, just a few people showed up. We usually have a huge number of people. Just a few people showed up. So we decided to do something kind of fun. We talked two of the people who were a little bit shy. We talked them into doing a video for YouTube. And so there were five of us, and we asked ourselves questions, and we all read on the same questions. And it was remarkable how many times we all got a minimum of three of the same cards
Hmm.
for every question. It was weird. And speaking of synchronicity, so
Hmm.
what do you think? Do you have an explanation for that?
I think it's fascinating when that happens. I also think when that happens, it usually happens with people whose energy blends together nicely. I've had it happen a lot when I have a guest on. It happened. We weren't getting the same exact cards, you and I, the last time we were together, yet we got similar energy cards
We had
that,
the same message basically, because you can, yeah.
yes, yes,
Today it was identical cards.
yeah.
That was really weird. I think you're right. I think you're onto something. When you're comfortable with people and you spend time together, sort of honing those skills, sharpening those skills, I think you do get on kind of a wavelength. I don't think we really expected it. It was kind of shocking. And regrettably, the questions were alarming and the answers were alarming. So it was a mixed reaction. It was exciting to know that we were on the same wavelength, and we were all sad we were on the same
I think
wavelength.
I do think that when the energy or the exact same cards, it's a synchronicity that says for me Ooh, pay attention. Pay attention to this. This is
Yeah.
something important. Uh,
Yeah.
and I also, when that happens, it requires that I listen very carefully to what others see in the card that I may be missing.
Or not so much missing as looking at it from just a different angle. So we would get the same cards and each of us would have a slightly different perspective on what it meant, but we agreed. Now that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'll give you an example. We would ask a political question, and let's pretend Denise and I got these similar cards, and she would be coming from a more kind of mechanistic planning,
Mhm.
uh, plotting what's going on, just, as far as the facts of what people are doing. She would be tuning into that and have those cards. I'd have the same cards, but to me, they'd be speaking about the underlying emotion or psychology.
Yes.
Same cards, same question, same conclusion, but just a different way of looking at it. I think that's very valuable.
I agree with you. I think when we are when I know I can speak just for myself, when come from a place of curiosity,
Hmm.
and I like to think about how, let's say, how you and I are alike instead of how we're different, because everybody, that's a lot of times what happens. People will say, oh, we're so different, I'm a man and you're a woman, and whatever. And I'm like, well, how about we're both human, we're both intellectual, we both are sensitive, we both knit.
I
So,
think both of us are very much alike.
well,
You
yes.
have you mean we both have different strengths, maybe
Yes.
different, maybe a little bit different attitude,
Yeah.
but at the foundation, I think we're very much alike. It's kind of
Probably.
spooky. Yeah,
Yeah. And
and it's a good thing.
yes, Jan is here. Silky Steel Kitchen Witchery. I know
That's a
how to
mouthful.
knit. I knit sometimes. Well, pick up your knitting right now and join us. This is that
Join us. I'm
opportunity.
trying to do the simplest of things without turning it into a knot.
So I think I really find it beneficial to share and learn from other people, because especially when the same cards or very similar messages coming through,
Yeah.
especially if it's done on a live. I have this happen a lot with Richie and we do a one card two tunkles, as we call it, tarot uncles.
Oh,
It is, we pull one card and we both give our view of that card,
applying it to the question.
applying it to the question.
That's
And
clever.
it works really, really
I
well.
like that. That's clever. Yeah. Uh, we should probably experiment with this premise here today at some point, don't you
I'm
think?
up for it.
Okay, good.
I'm up for it.
In the meantime, let's set the stage. We were asking questions about current events in the Middle East. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, and there's a lot of fear surrounding it, right? Uh, People are apprehensive about how, and like, in what way will this escalate out of control. It's getting just a little existential,
Mhm.
for us. It's certainly existential for the people who live there. Let's not
Yes.
forget them. um and I was remarking when we did this earlier that I'm old enough to remember the Cuban Missile Crisis,
Mhm.
and my parents were pretty on top of current events. They talk politics all the time. And I can remember the adults sitting around the table discussing the potential for what Khrushchev might do, what Castro might do, what Kennedy might do. And it was really very scary as a child to listen to them talking about the potential. And of course, Looking back now, this is insanity. My father was discussing how we could have a bunker. We could go into the garage, the semi detached garage, and wait for it, just put rags in the crack under the door.
Hmm.
And, and even at the age of 6, I thought, that doesn't sound all that safe to me. I don't know. But then we went to school and they taught us how to hide under our desks from
Yes.
nukes.
Yeah. Or to put a book over your, the back of your head, because that's going to help protect you.
Perhaps maybe we're being unfair, and maybe they were really thinking about earthquakes, because that would have been a thing where I grew up, right? But they did uh, present it as civil defense, nuclear, potential. They even had this system for a few years when I was like in the 7th or the 8th grade, where they categorized every neighborhood with a pink card or a color coded card, and had the neighborhoods, the clusters of children in each neighborhood stand as a group. And then the oldest child in the group was responsible for walking everybody home, dodging the nukes, I guess. And I had sleepless nights about that because I was always the oldest in the group and just so stressed out at the thought that, who do I bring home first? Do I walk home this family, or do I take my siblings home? Or, I mean, it was just a nightmare.
It was a time that people rallied together to help and to take care of each other, is what you're describing.
Well, I'm not sure. I think the school was hoping to get rid of hoping to send us on the way. They didn't have like an elaborate bus system or anything. It was a small parish Catholic school, small for the time. I think there's probably about 500 kids, but what were they going to do with all those children, if there was some sort of national emergency?
Well, but going back to that, there was a sense of we do a part. Everyone was told to
Responsibility, yeah.
responsibility, and to have that responsibility, um not just be within their family, but to be
To each other, yeah.
to each other.
Yeah, I hear what you're
And
saying.
I
You're
think
right.
that's a
Yeah.
really key thing.
Yeah, you're
I think that's
right.
a
I sort
really
of took that
important.
for granted. Yeah. But that was a time when if you were outside playing around your neighborhood and you did something untoward, like you got on somebody's front lawn you shouldn't have been on, somebody else's mother would come outside and yell at you.
Well, or you did something and you thought you were in the clear, but then you come home and you can say, Andy's mom called me and said you were doing this. Now let's talk about that. Yeah, it's like, ah,
It was a little bit like living in a fascist state. I'll tell you what, if you got in trouble in my school, the teacher, who was almost always a nun, the teacher nailed you, right? And it was kind of an open plan, a colonnaded open air hallway, and every classroom opened into this covered hallway. And it had a little low brick wall all the way around in the shape of a U. So if you got in trouble, now I never did because I was a good girl. But if you got in trouble, the nun would give you a talking to right in front of everybody. And then physically, usually for the boys, it was by the nape of the neck, physically escort you to the little wall. And you would sit there until the principal patrolled. And she was like Darth Vader, she would patrol every hour or so. And she'd collect all the little criminals and take them back to her office. And the parish priest lived in an apartment over her office. So he would come downstairs and give whoever it was a hard time. And then they called your parents. Just psychological punishment.
I don't know if I've told this story before, but my sister, I went to Catholic grade school, went through first through sixth grade.
What was it? Saint what?
Saint Christopher.
Oh, okay.
Saint Chris. It wasn't an Aloysius or anything fancy like that. Um, and my sister didn't want to eat her lunch, or wasn't eating as
Mhm.
she should. For those of you who grew up in a family, in a Catholic family, you always ate because children were starving in Africa, is what we were told. So, sister, I think I don't remember her name, but the principal said, you need to eat because there's children starving in Africa.
And this will solve the problem.
Yes,
Yeah.
this will solve the problem. And my sister said, well, send it to them. To which she immediately got sent to, she got sent to the principal's office if it wasn't the principal. And the principal called my mother.
Oh my God. How did your
And
mother keep a straight face?
well, and see, here's the thing. Here's what my sister says. She could tell mom. I mean, she's told. Do you know what your daughter said? She said, send it to them. Well, my mom laughed, and then she immediately corrected herself, and she said, we will take care of this when she gets home. I just am like going, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. It was a different kind of environment where I went to school because they didn't have any money. The school didn't have a cafeteria, a lunchroom, or anything like that. We ate outside on picnic benches under kind of what's that corrugated plastic stuff overhead.
Oh, okay.
And our playground was a tarmac parking lot. So you imagine the injuries,
Mhm.
there were a lot of people that probably could have used skin grafts. It was terrible, really
Yes.
terrible. And we didn't have stuff, there wasn't equipment. We
Mhm.
did a lot of things, like we organized stuff like we would have chalk. Well, we would steal chalk out of the classroom and draw a hopscotch thing or a four square. We did, what we did? We did a lot of rope jumping,
Oh, skipping rope. Hmm.
like doubles and stuff. I
Yep.
remember all those old songs that we used to do with that. Do kids do that anymore?
I don't know. Any of you who has young children, do children skip rope anymore? We
I see
had we had
India.
tetherball,
Yeah,
is that ball in the string
on
on
a
a pole.
pole. Yeah, yeah, we had that too.
We
So I
also had
shouldn't laugh.
foursquare. Foursquare.
Yeah, yeah. I was never into the competitive team sports. I
Mm.
just wasn't into that.
Dan in the chat said, okay, went to Catholic school for half kindergarten, and then a nun broke my pinky finger after I asked her if she was drunk. Mom took me out of school at that point.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We need more background on this. You
She said,
asked the
I just
nun if
found
she was
out
drunk?
what being drunk was, and she was acting goofy.
Oh my God.
I always thought that, but I never had the nerve to say it. Well, send it to them.
Yeah, yeah.
We had an asphalt playground with a curb in a square with sand inside. That had
Monkey bars.
had the monkey bars, and kids aren't allowed to play outside anymore.
Well, my husband, this would never happen nowadays. My husband was hanging from one of those monkey bar type things, climbing situations, and he fell and he went unconscious.
Oh my god!
And they just took him into the office and then sent him home.
Well, yeah, I see those funny things on social media. It's like kids, kids on the monkey bars, and they're really high up, and it's like, well, this is what we did in the 70s, and we survived. And so Renee,
they just didn't take it quite as seriously.
yeah, Renee
Yeah.
Unraveled Knitting. Hello, Renee. Said times have changed. I have sports kids. Mm.
Oh, everything's organized by adults, right? It's all organized by adults. We used to play like Red Rover and kickball in our street in front of our houses, and it was suburban. I didn't live in an urban, like you see on a Martin Scorsese film. It was just a regular suburban type of environment. But we would all the kids in the neighborhood would get out and play like every evening, especially in the summer. Uh, Kickball, or I don't know what it was we were
Yeah,
playing.
we played hide and seek or kick the can. And
Our
then
favorite, our favorite was Boys Against the Girls.
and the girls always won.
I don't remember. And this is California, and my best friend lived down the street, and her next door neighbor had kind of a mini orchard in the back of her house. And I don't know what the neighbor thought of this. My mother was not pleased. We would go back there and have peach fights.
Oh.
With ripe peaches. And then at my house, we had avocado trees. And the Irish at the time really didn't know from an avocado, that just wasn't in their frame of reference. And so these beautiful Haas avocados, the big ones, that were just beautiful, they would just fall on the ground and rot because nobody ate them. So we used to have contests, fights where we would jump on them and squirt them at each other.
Wow.
I know, like $5.
Yeah.
Avocado,
Yeah. Jan said we always played outside until the street lights came on. Dodgeball, freeze tag. We also played the game Sardines. Do you remember that game? Did you ever play that?
No.
Where one person would go hide, then everyone else had to try to find the person who was hiding. When you found them, you actually hid with them.
Oh, okay. We would play that. I don't know what we called it, but we would play that. Yeah. And you'd accumulate people.
Yes.
Finally, only one poor soul was left wandering around trying to find them.
Yep.
Did you ever play Mother May I?
Yes.
That was always fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, Simon Says.
Simon Says, yes.
Yeah. And
Now,
Red Rover.
Question: what other games did you play as a kid? Everybody who's watching,
Freeze tag. Freeze tag. Yes.
Freeze tag.
Tag.
Freeze tag.
Oh, do you ever play statues?
I think so.
So somebody would be the statue maker and would go from kid to kid to kid and sort of swing them around. And when you stopped, you were frozen in that position. And then nobody was allowed to move. And I don't know what the repercussions were if you moved, but that was the point of the game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have.
And I had roller skates. Not very long ago, my granddaughter saw a picture of the kind of roller skates I had as a child and was absolutely gobsmacked. I had to explain, they were metal and the wheels were metal, and they accordioned in and out in length, and you had a key and you would lock the size and then you would strap your foot in.
Yep.
And I didn't own skates at the time, but my best friend's sister, her older sister, had skates, and she would let me wear one skate. I learned how to roller skate on one foot. I did the neighborhood constantly, and I did, what was that called, where you crouch down on one foot and skate on one foot?
Oh, I don't remember, but I do know what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that all around the neighborhood.
Wow.
It must have been in decent cardiovascular condition as opposed to now. I don't know how I did that. I think about it. That's pretty remarkable.
Well, you were pretty young at the time.
Last year.
Yeah, last year. That's exactly right. So it was, the statues. Oh, we have Red Rover, somebody mentioned.
Yep.
Red light, green light.
Yes.
Duck, duck, goose. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And those skates were death traps, Claire said.
Oh, I love them.
You did it without a helmet, didn't you? And without elbow and knee pads.
They didn't even exist.
Yeah. I remember those the skates with the keys that you had to clip your toe of your tennis shoe in and it never held. I can't tell you how many times I fell on asphalt doing that. Um,
Kids today have no concept of what a really good cement burn looks like.
oh yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Uh,
Slalom. No, that's skiing.
I
What do they call that stupid? You get
don't,
down on one, you're on one foot, you bend your knee so you're low to the ground, and you stick your other leg out in front of you. There's a word for that.
well, here, I'm going to put down my knitting. This is what I'm knitting, everybody. I'm knitting on a hat. I
You always
just
make
finished the ribbon.
beautiful hats.
And okay,
So
so
so how many stitches is that?
this is 80 stitches on a size 7 needle.
Okay, all right.
And I started with the rib. So, okay, let
Yeah, I
me.
was having a crisis of faith earlier because they were telling me all kind. I looked up. I don't really have a good recipe pattern
Mhm.
for a hat with real bulky yarn, and so I just sort of Googled it, and the range of numbers was just kind of broad, and I thought something's wrong here. So I got in touch with Gerald and asked him for his professional advice. We're gonna see because I'll try this on my melon of a head here and get more done. So, what do you think? Should we do a few cards?
Hang on just a second. I'm checking to see what we call that when you go down on one skate and put
Shoot the moon.
other
Yeah.
leg out front.
Hmm.
Jan said first she was the first kid to get the shoe skates. Her mom found them at the store. Shoot the duck. You are correct.
Shoot the duck. Okay. All right. Yeah. They're all so violent. And my favorite, if you had enough older kids, crack the whip.
Oh my God! Crack the whip.
Send your younger brothers just flying.
Yeah, I was always the youngest, so I was always at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my closest friend who lived up the street, there were 7 kids in her family, which was a paltry excuse for a family in our group. um, she had a couple older brothers, and so you know, they made sure to torture us as much as they possibly could. They just whipped us around like crazy.
Oh, piggyback wars. I do remember piggyback wars.
No, I never heard of that. What is
Yeah,
that?
we did that. We did that in the neighbor's swimming pool. It was essentially you had you put you gave piggyback rides and you tried to you ran at each other and tried to pull the other person off.
Oh, okay. No, I
Oh,
don't remember
okay,
that.
Felicity. We're doing we're practicing. We're checking to see something that Helen was doing in her study group today.
Yeah, we were remarkably in tune with the cards that we were getting as a group. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when 3 to 4 out of 5 people are getting
Yeah.
consistently the same 3 or 4 cards as each other, not the same cards from question to question, but the same cards from person to person. It starts to get kind of interesting, right?
Mhm.
So we're going to see if maybe Gerald and I might be able to
By the way,
replicate that.
this is the other hat that I finished.
Oh God, you always have the best selection of colors. The best. That's
Well,
beautiful.
this is just the yarn. This is half skeins of Noro Curion.
Does it
With
come that way? It's variegated?
it comes that way. It comes variegated. The yarn switches at about. This is all one yarn or one
Okay, so you
ball,
do 2 different
and that's
balls
the
of
other
yarn.
ball.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you can see that. Yeah, yeah.
Did I show you the cherry blossom that I did?
You were going to show it to me because it's in a more completed state.
Like this?
Oh yeah, it looks beautiful. Are you finished?
No, I have to get it into the frame. So
Well, other than that,
yeah,
are you
other than that,
framing? Are you making your own frame?
no, I'm reusing one that I got from a thrift store.
Well, that's what I mean. You're framing it yourself
Yes, I'm framing it.
because framing is outrageously expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I showed you this.
Can you hold it a little bit closer, please? Oh God, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Is that a specific place? Is that a
Yes,
or
it's the dock from my brother and sister-in-law's yard, or off of their summer house they go to. And then
Gerald, you're really talented, Those
thank
are
you.
really beautiful.
And then I did this, which is I took the ends of that other piece
Uh-huh.
and I'm making the sunset with embroidery floss.
Okay, so I thought that was a giant H for Helen.
Well, it could be.
You know what that reminds me of? That is very kind of Gustav Klimt Mondrian. Do you know who I mean? Do you know that kind of
Oh yeah.
Art Nouveau-ish?
Yes.
Where is my deck? I have a deck of cards that'll. Oh my God! Every time I want to access a deck of cards, it's packed behind the locked thing, and I can't get at it yet. I can't.
So we have a couple of questions. Linda Kelzer said, "Duck, duck, gray duck." I don't remember duck, duck, gray duck, but I remember.
I never heard of that. What is that?
I don't remember. How does one connect with a practice group, Helen?
Oh, okay. So this is a class. It's on Denise Siegel's. Okay, so when you go to somebody's videos, somebody's YouTube channel, and they have individual videos. So like she had a video yesterday. So go to that video and there's a description under it. And the description has a little more ...
Mm-hmm.
And if you click on that, you'll suddenly see all this information about classes. She teaches a whole bunch of different classes, and it's the psychic development class. She teaches astrology classes and different levels of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am putting the link for Denise's stuff in my chat.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's just her name. Yeah. She does have a Substack, and she spends much more time on her Substack. She does a lot of writing. She's a published author.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's if you could get a knitter a hat that said overachiever, it would be appropriate. Crazy. But she writes on the Substack. It's called An Astrologer's Guide to Life on Earth.
Okay.
And it's really interesting. Of course, she does sometimes slip into her second language, which is astrology speak. And a lot of times I don't know what she's saying, but there are other people who do know astrology.
Oh yeah. Astrology is one of those things that it doesn't quite connect with my brain yet.
Me neither. And it's a crack up because I've got a lot of friends who are into astrology, and they'll say things like, God, that is just so Libra. I have no idea what they're talking about.
I did a series of shows on my channel for a year about astrology and the different signs. So I tried.
So what are you?
Western astrology. I'm a Scorpio, Cancer.
Okay, so I'm just at the first one. I don't know what the others mean. So you're Scorpio?
I'm a Scorpio, and then there's the rising, and then the ascendant, and something else.
So I had two of my friends who are really good astrologers do my chart like extensively.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't ask them to. They kind of browbeat me into it. Both of them, I think they were just nosy. Wanted to see what they could see, but I said, go ahead, I don't care. And they did these really elaborate astrological profiles, and I've got them written down, I've got them stored away, but I really don't know what they mean. And they did, one provided a whole written explanation, which is really beautiful. It's really
Mhm.
helpful. But I can never remember more than I'm a Taurus.
Uh, well, okay, so sun sign, rising, and moon signs, because this rising and the ascendant are the same thing. So,
Oh, okay.
Sarah, hi, Sarah. First one is sun sign, so I'm a Scorpio, and rising Cancer and moon in Cancer.
Okay. And I don't really know how that would affect you, like your personality or.
Oh,
I
well, I
don't.
can tell you. Do you want to know?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
curious.
really good at keeping secrets, and don't screw with me because I will take you down.
Oh God.
Because I
Okay.
am a Scorpio. I mean, I mean,
Okay.
I have a very long memory.
Oh, you hold a grudge.
Well, yeah, and I might get
Yeah.
even if I am unbalanced. Jan said I'm
Yeah.
an Aries sun, Aquarius moon, and Cancer ascendant. It also means I am all water signs. Yeah, where is
And
Denise when you need her?
yeah, I know. I'm listening, and it's not that I don't care. It's just like you're speaking Russian. You know what I mean? It doesn't trigger any kind of an association for me.
I have had really good people explain to me. Julie Kushia Watts is very good at explaining what it means, especially with the true sidereal or the real sky, true sky. Michelle Marie, who you know,
Oh, I
is
know
very good
Michelle.
at
Yeah,
it with
sure.
the
Yeah.
Vedic
Oh, she's a whole
astrology.
other level because not only is it astrology speak, but it's Vedic astrology speak. So it's got an extra layer
Yes,
of incomprehensibility. Yeah, yeah.
and well, and what's great is this, and Colleen the Cool Crone is very good at it and able to explain it for what it means, which I love. However, I can't get it to stick in my mind what
Yeah,
it
I
means.
just had this. I can't retain it.
Yeah,
Cannot retain it. I don't know what it is.
yeah.
And at this point, I feel like there's so much to know. If you're going to do it, you want to do it right. And there is so much to know. I don't have enough years left to really perfect enough to be good at it, to
You're not
know.
living to 150?
Please God, no.
Oh, Karen, Tapioca Thievery is I'm an Aries Sun, Scorpio Moon, and Virgo Ascendant. Silky Jan is all fire and water.
Well, that's kind of a contradictory combination, isn't it?
Well, or it's a really good one when put in the right order because fire and water make steam, which you can do a lot with steam,
Oh, I hadn't thought
including
about
giving
that.
yourself a facial if you need to.
Oh, okay. I hadn't even thought about that.
And okay, all
Well,
right.
I
So
just know that I'm a Taurus and I'm a classic Taurus. I'm lazy. If I never had to do anything physical again the rest of my life, it would be too soon. I'm stuck in my ways. I don't like change. I'm kind of indulgent when it comes to things like food and beautiful stuff. And it doesn't mean I'm materialistic. It's just that I would rather sit and look at beautiful flowers than actually go climb a rock wall or something. I just, yeah, yeah.
okay, so Sarah said sun sign is what you are, rising is how the world sees you, and
Mm.
moon is your emotional self. Thank you. That does help.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Hypnicity said my dad was a Taurus.
Stubborn, right? I betcha.
All right, we are almost at an hour. What are we reading on? I'm curious.
Well, what do you think we should read on? What is the burning question of the moment? Maybe we should see if people have a suggestion. And I don't, I mean a general for the world and for everybody question, not a personal question,
Yeah,
only because we don't have enough time to really do it
yeah.
for everybody. Yeah.
And do we have a next caffeinated and unfiltered show scheduled? I think we were going to do it today after that.
I don't know, Gerald.
Yes, we do. On April 9th, Helen is joining me for caffeinated readings.
Let me make sure I've got it in my thing. April 9th. Yes, Gerald, 1:00.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that'll be fun. I'll look forward to that. So, do we have a large in scope question that you can think of? We did some really hairy ones today that were just disturbing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know. I have a question. Here's one. I just realized that there's a big protest coming up.
Okay.
And you know about that?
Tell me about it so we're on the same
Okay, well,
page.
yeah, I just know that there's a big, Denise told me about it this morning. I didn't know. There's a whole No Kings protest. It's coming up here towards the end of the month.
Uh-huh.
It's supposed to be the largest protest ever, and that's
Oh.
all I know. The concern is No Kings. Yeah. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Will it be peaceful? Is that a good question?
Sure.
Let's find
On
out.
the 28th, Jan said it's going to be huge. It's March 28th. Karen said my sign for the protest will be delivered today.
What does it say? Or is it a secret? What does it say? Some of the signs are, I love the signs. They are so creative. People have a remarkable sense of imagination and a sense of humor. I absolutely love it. So are we going to do the cards? I'm shuffling.
Oh yeah, I'm getting my deck. So will it be successful?
No, will it be peaceful?
Oh, will it be peaceful? Even better.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Helen doesn't look happy.
What did you get? I don't like that sigh either. That's not good.
No, it's going to certainly have a rocky bit of a. It's going to. It's all about the energy, and unfortunately, there's going to be some. Adolescent behavior with actions, and I think it's going to turn into like a recess fight, and so instead of being peaceful, there's just going to be somebody or a small group of people who are just going to get it wonky, but it'll I'm not actually saying it very clearly. It's going to be very energetic. There's going to be some immature people who are going to try to make it do something else.
Physical acting out. Is that what you're implying?
Physical acting out. Yes, there's going to be some physical acting out. Then there's going to be some effort to settle that down.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's going to be force or if just it's going to be isolated and removed.
Yeah.
And then I got the Eight of Cups. It's going to be emotional because people are not going to, it's not expecting it to do what it's going to do.
No.
So,
I'll tell you I agree with you. I'll tell you my cards here in a second, but I want to give credit to everybody for their funny signs. This is hilarious. The sign said 12-year-old boy carrying it, and it said Donald Trump stole my girlfriend.
Wow.
Ouch. Okay, let's see here. Where did it go? Okay, well, here, we'll just do this. Oh, very good. Trump is a full card deck. It's the lovers with a Heads headset should be the ace of cups. Nice big or the nine of cups with all the cups behind him. And Mike Johnson and Mark falling out of the oh yeah. That's a good one too. Okay, what's this one?
Swinging statues. Oh, it's a game. It's what we were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I actually just hit the wrong one. I paint my own signs. The last one I did was an American flag that said American troops on American soil attacking American citizens protesting peacefully is not a lawful order. Oh man. That's heavy. That's yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a good one, but that's a hard one. People are getting testy. Yeah. Yeah. I think people have just about had enough. Oh, here's a good one. Wait. Picture of Trump crying with mashed potatoes on his head. Okay, I'll tell you my cards. So this is definitely about the atmosphere, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The powers that be are desperate to hang on to their control, to their money, to their position, their I mean, they have a tough boy reputation to prove, to maintain. They have a position of authority that they don't want contested. And, there's a profit to be made. Think about private prisons. Those guys are going to make bank this weekend. And look what I get together. And this to me is the imposition of the long arm of the law. The King of Swords, the Queen of Swords. And, you can interpret tarot cards literally, or you can apply them to the context of the question. I think this, okay. This is
I had the
representing.
Page of Swords reversed. So we've got the whole family.
Yeah, the whole family is here. Yeah, they're going to come after people. I don't think it's going to be without event. And here's my last card, and I'm sorry, but you saw me shuffle the Three of Swords. And this might be hard. This might be a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tempers are flaring. Emotions are raw. People are scared. People are angry. It's starting to affect people financially. And sad to say, some people are very pragmatic about their relationship with the government. They ignore it until they start to feel the pinch, the price of gas, the price of food, rent, and then they get mad. And they don't always make the connection that we're responsible for voting these people in to speak for us. And if they're not speaking for us, then we have to do something assertive about it. And senseless to get mad at them, They didn't just walk into the office and plant their butt in the chair. They were put there by your fellow citizens. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be emotional. Do you get that, Gerald?
Oh, I do get it. It's going to be very emotional. I got the Eight of Cups, which is about walking away and cutting your losses as it relates to money.
But I mean, in your feelings.
Oh, in my feeling. Oh, yeah. It's going to be very emotional.
Very emotional. Yeah.
Very, very emotional.
So I have another good question.
Yes.
Will the media cover it appropriately? Because they ignored pretty much the last one or two that we had. It was like a little side comment in passing. And if this is the biggest protest that's ever been held in this country, it should be front cover breaking news.
Alani said, now cut it out with all the swords.
Oh my God, I've been getting the same stupid cards. Huh. Shall I go?
Yeah.
So I got the Four of Pentacles again. I almost changed decks because I thought, God, did I not shuffle properly? But it's actually appropriate to the other cards that I got. The media, they are in it for the money. Journalism, thing of the past. Not for everybody, but mainstream corporate journalism is contradiction in terms. They're in it for the money. And they do not want to anger the authoritarian king, the king of wands, the dictator, the aggressive king who will take action if he doesn't like what you're up to. I get the king of cups reversed, which is a lack of a sense of emotional connection. So they're going to be pragmatic about it. The media will address it based on their bank account and not on their heart. So any loyalty they might have to small things like the Constitution or the rule of law, that won't feature heavily in their coverage of it. They'll be much more interested in painting the picture that the authorities want them to paint. And this is the conclusion. The authorities will be breathing down their necks, and the threat will be loss of money. The Queen of Pentacles, the King of Swords. So in short, no, it won't be fair coverage unless you go to alternative media. It won't be fair coverage because there's too much to lose. They'll lose advertising. They could lose their license. Brendan Carr is spending his entire career threatening media outlets now. If you say anything, he'll take away your license. And it's just not a good situation. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, the media will cover it as they frame it to get what they want, is what I would say.
Yeah.
So
what do you think they want?
Oh, it's about money and control and driving things to where they want it to go.
And they want to stay on his good side, right?
Sure. Yeah.
They don't want to be considered the class troublemaker, right?
Which is unfortunate because that's what the true media should do.
Muckrake.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to recommend that podcast. Jared Yates Sexton is a former history professor, and he has made his career now. And he seems really young to me, but he probably isn't totally young. He's probably in his 50s, but to me, he seems like he's in his 20s. But he's written several books, and I covered one of his books called The Midnight Kingdom, and it's sort of a history of authoritarian government from the beginning of humankind. It's an absolutely sweeping book. It's a fabulous book. But he's got a podcast called Muckrake, and that was a term in the past for journalists who stirred the you-know-what.
Yes.
Uncovered the the muck, right?
Yes.
And he holds power accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Speaks truth to authorities. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's called Muckrake. Great podcast. Jared Yates Sexton.
Excellent. This has been great, Helen.
Thank you. Yes, it went. I can't believe it's gone by so fast.
I know. It's like, whoa, okay.
I knit one row.
Very good. And how many did you cast on, by the way?
Pardon me?
How many stitches did you cast on?
40.
Okay.
That'll be enough.
I think so. It depends upon your gauge.
Well, I have a huge head. So I'm thinking if it fits me, it'll fit the other adults. And if it is a little too small for me, I've got enough delicate daughters and grandchildren that it'll fit somebody.
There you go.
So I won't worry about it. Yeah. That's the beauty. Hats and dog sweaters. Doesn't matter how they fit.
Yep. You're going to find somebody to wear them.
Gerald, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your help with the comments because it's nerve-wracking for me.
Yes.
Oh, did I mess that up? God, no, I messed something else up. Oh, you can't see what I'm looking at. I messed something up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I just want to thank everybody for your patience showing up and then subjecting yourself to being totally ignored. I really appreciate it.
Yes. It's great to see everybody, and do us the favor, subscribe to all of the channels, both of our channels. The links are in my description. I now have a place to where you can go and you can schedule a reading with me. That
Oh,
is in the description. So do that.
that's very clever.
Yes, and it's we are coming up on the vernal equinox
Hmm.
tomorrow.
Hmm. So that's always very reassuring because after that there'll be longer hours of daylight.
Yes.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. And they don't last nearly long enough. The next thing you know, it's
Yeah.
it's a countdown.
There you
But I
go.
really appreciate it. We end up having daylight till almost not daylight, but like a very extended dusk until 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
It's really my mother said that it reminded her very much of Ireland, that it was the same
Oh,
sort of climate atmosphere. I think it's latitude. Is it latitude? Yeah. How high you are,
oh,
how
uh-huh.
above you are from the equator.
Wow.
How you remember? Little trick. The good sisters taught us this. The equator goes around the Earth like a belt, but essentially it's like a horizontal line. It's flat, latitude, flat. So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You're welcome. Anytime you need useless information, I'm your man.
Well, but here it is. There's something to be said about that education because you still remember it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember in the second grade we had a like a what do you call it? Like an assembly, and it was Columbus Day, and I will never forget this. The principal got up in front of everybody and said, "Oh, it's really easy to remember the year that Columbus discovered America. Uh, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue." He said, "And don't confuse yourselves now. It's not 1493 Columbus sailed the deep blue sea." And I have never been able to remember which year it is. I always go, "Oh my God, which one was the right one?"
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yes.
You should
Wow.
have such problems. So thank you, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for all the comments. It was fun to hear about the games and the signs. And
Great.
please join us again and let us know what you're knitting or embroidering or crocheting
Yep.
or painting. We embrace all forms of creativity.
And I think being creative is much more important now. We need that. Creativity connects us to our emotions. Creativity is extremely important, regardless of where you are. You are that one person who has that creative spark. Do it
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
matters.
I've lived in this house a really long time, and I have rose plants, that I put out a very long time ago. In fact, some of them have been there for so long they don't live forever. They're starting to get kind of sketchy. But every summer, usually about June, late May to mid June, the roses all come into bloom, and I try to put a big bouquet of my roses on camera for everybody to appreciate. You can't smell them, obviously, smell-o-vision.
Yes.
And a lot of them that I have are antique. I intentionally got the antique
Oh,
versions
yeah. Hmm.
because they have been hybridized to live longer and to be pest free, but they lose their aroma when they do that.
Yeah, they
So I
do.
try to get the old fashioned kind. So sometimes they look a little chewed around the edges, but they smell really good. So
I love it. I
yeah.
love it.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you very, very much. Claire, Kieran, Slongafoil. Slongafoil, everybody. Slancha.
Bye.
I should probably say thank you, Gerald.